All right, let's chat about Dallas today, the Bitcoin Superconference. My name is Michael Kubera. Thanks so much for coming in. If you met me at Dallas or if you attended Dallas, it was... Write down the comment section below what you thought about the whole conference. There is going to be another one in September. This one supposedly sold 4,000 to 5,000 tickets. There was 3 hotels sold out: the Sheraton, the Marriott, and I do believe it was the Hyatt. I don't know about that one. That one wasn't cool. Anyways, I don't know if it was cool or not, but this was one of the most interesting conferences I've been to this year because it was the second one this year. Without further ado, let's get into it, what I thought about it, and I'll show you some clips from the conference itself.
We could never market publicly that rate for less, because if we marketed it for less, we'd be competing against the hand that was feeding us. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Okie dokie. So pretty much we are Travel Block. We were sponsors and speakers at the Dallas Bitcoin Superconference. Here's the interesting thing. So multiple speakers from the conference were no-shows. John McAfee did show up. There was police because supposedly someone threw death threats on John, which is the standard, I guess. Plus, he might have killed a man. But apart from that small little segment, which, yeah, you saw cops everywhere, people were able to go in through the back parking lot, I guess, and then just kind of like... I mean, listen, if you were in a suit and you dressed nice and you looked like you played the part, yeah, you could get in, no problemo. And, you know, you start talking up with everybody. I'm not saying I did that. I mean, I was a sponsor, so I did everything right. But just from my observations, if someone was illegally attempting to get into the conference, they probably could have. So just my observations. Guys, for the next conference, you might want to fix that because they're trying to get either 10 or 11,000 people, and hopefully next time it is in an actual conference center, because this time it was a small place in the Marriott, which that's fine. It was the Hotel Marriott. At least it was close to Dallas Fort Worth. I'm all good with that. But they were live streaming the soft fork event, as in like the normal speakers were being live streamed to another hotel. So people at the Sheraton, which actually was nicer than the Marriott, although smaller. So people at the Sheraton were just chilling there watching all the speakers, which, I don't know, that's a nice way to make more money, I guess. So, by the way, if you're planning to organize any conference related to Bitcoin this year, hey, there's a lot of money in that. Anything from the $500 to $700 to $1,000 VIP passes or normal tickets or whatever else you want to sell in, to the $5,000 to $15,000 booth spots, to the speaker fees, to advertising, and you go through all this stuff and you realize, holy moly, there's a lot of money being made here. So those are just my observations from an attendee perspective. I didn't really watch much speeches because I was working, and I saw John in person, and that was an interesting experience. There was a lot of cool guys out there. I think the craziest energy was just the fact that Tim Draper like brushed off me, and I was like, whoa, that dude's a billionaire, wow. And it was really nice to see him just chatting out with the random citizens of public instead of immediately hopping into his Rolls Royce and I'm out of here. Because, you know, Tim's a nice guy. Shout out to Ken Bozak. I met him. Really nice guy. Sorry that we couldn't chill a little bit later. I actually felt really sick in Dallas. Like, that was... And I'm still sick. That's why I'm wearing a scarf and coat inside. Because it's just like, I don't get it. It's a week after. I go from a negative environment to something that's supposed to be hot, but it's raining over there. The weather was horrible. I know I'm sounding like I'm complaining, but if you came up to our booth, you probably saw me and I was like, here's a... you know, dying. In terms of booth presentations... If you are an ICO, a company, an advisor, somebody who wants to sell something at one of these conferences, whether it's Dallas, whether it's North American Bitcoin in Miami, whether it's Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, wherever this conference is, if it's a brand new conference or something that's been going on for the past 5 years, it's all about marketing and presentation skills. Now, this is obviously being a little bit biased coming from someone who's directly, strictly marketing. I mean, some people will say sales is better. I think both are connected. Marketing, it's all about the presentation. We had literally the largest booth. That was my fault. I apologize. Kelsey was a really nice organizer. Thank you so much, because we didn't really intrude on anybody else, so our 10 by 10 was okay. Hey, as long as it's not standing out in front, because that would be a fire hazard at that point. But we put a lot of hard work and effort into our booth. And it seems like some people out there, like, literally didn't care at all. And, you know, we were getting a lot of reception, but out there I saw some really sad faces. Guys, if you're going to one of these events and you're going to be like this, oh my goodness, I hate my life, then you're not really going to get much investment, okay? I'm pretty sure that's not why you're there, to just kind of mope around. You got to be a little bit happy. Me, I had a high fever, and I was going out. I hopefully didn't get anybody sick, but I was going out. I was going full. A lot of energy. There was so many cool people. I literally counted. There was over 15 people that came up to me, and they recognized me either from this channel or from my other channel, which is very nice. Thank you very much. Shout out to everybody. You guys were lovely, and I really hope you had a safe flight back home. And by the way, in the future, if I'm at a conference, say hi to me. No worries. I am more awkward in person, so don't worry about that. I mean, you know, the camera makes me feel more confident. My tips and advice for companies out there. If you're going to be spending over $10,000 to attend a conference, you should invest a couple thousand more to make sure that the presentation's actually all good. There was a lot of people coming up to us, and here's what made us stand out a little bit more. This is me honestly looking at it from the fact that there was a lot of interest coming up, a lot of positive reception. Well, we had a large TV out there with our platform product ready. I mean, it was presentable. We had a lot of people at our table. The only thing is, I wish there was more people at our table that were working for our group. Because at different times, you know, there might have been only 2 people at the table, while at other times there was 8 people. Now, this depended because, for example, the morning time, maybe like 2 people would come up right before the speeches because they'd still be waking out of bed, maybe hungover a little bit. But yeah, if you're an ICO or a company that's going to be attending this, at least have 3 people at all times, or try to have 2, because that's like 2 is bare minimum, okay? Now, for us, we had 2 because usually there was another person walking around the conference not too far away, or 2 or 3 people, so we could easily grab them. Hello, what's up? And, you know, they were working with investors. They were working with, I don't know, people that wanted to partner up with us. Don't be disrespectful to people who come up to you and they don't want to invest, because those guys might actually be more valuable to you in that current moment than the investors, because if you're still before the pre-sale, you might be able to adjust some things that are concerning to that one individual. Now, of course, you're always going to have some haters, and that's fine, but be open to negative receptions, because those might be extremely valuable to unlocking more investors. It was a pretty fun conference. It was just disorganized. I think a lot of the main organizers were hired weeks beforehand. Some of the speakers didn't show up. There was some drama going on. I don't really want to go too much into that. I want to stay away from the drama, but here's my little 2 cents on the whole situation. It's a very fast-growing industry. A lot of things are happening. There's so many companies out there that are experiencing scaling issues. They need to hire more people. It's disorganized because there's just too much positive, because there's just too many people that are wanting to get in, which is kind of a good problem, but it still is a problem nevertheless. So my only advice for future conferences, try and get a better space, try and be a little bit more organized, hire people more in advance, and you should be good to go. I'm fine. Anyways, do I recommend it? Well, it depends on what you're going there to do, because, you know, it does cost a little bit. I mean, you have to think, who is attending these conferences that's spending like $800 to go 3 days of his life just listen to other people, right? I mean, if you're an investor, you're looking into the next $1 million project, cool. If you're a hedge fund guy looking for the next $1 million project, cool. I honestly just found this today, and I thought it was the coolest prop ever. However, to the people living in Dallas, you have one of the most boring cities out there at 8 p.m.
This is where Mr. Alex Becker lived. Great city.
Alex Becker?
Yeah.
Because at 8 p.m., everything closes down. And to prove this point, I literally met the same people from the conference at the local bar, at the local restaurant, at whatever else was out there, because there was nothing there. So, I mean, at the end of the night, we just went to Denny's because there was nobody in the town. I mean, except the homeless people. So, yeah. I'm sure it's a cool city during the daytime, a lot of business stuff, but we had the conference going on, and the next day I was flying out. So, anyways, it was a pretty cool experience. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Michael Cabrera. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you hated it, tell me why you hate my face. Maybe we can work some things out, go out for coffee or whatever. But yeah, cheers.